Back now for the final segment of this edition of Forsyth County Connections. I'm so glad you stuck with us so far, and we want to end up with a very, very, very serious topic of infant mortality. And let's see if we can learn a little bit about it. I want to learn about it and see what we can do maybe to bring those numbers down, or maybe we're doing okay with it. And we're going to find out from the Director of Health Department. And we're talking about Joshua Swift, of course. Good to see you again, sir.
Oh, good to be here.
Infant Mortality Reduction Coalition. What is it? What's the mission?
So, Jim, it's a community-wide effort that's led by the Health Department. And really our focus is simple, is reducing infant mortality here in Forsyth County. We've got over 20 organizations that are part of the group, and you have from our 2 large hospitals to nonprofits. And really around one goal is making sure that every baby has a healthy start in life.
Are we doing worse or better than the national average with the incidence of death of infants, infant mortality? What's the average around Forsyth County in the area, and how do we look around the state and that kind of thing? Help me out.
Yeah, so historically Forsyth County has had a higher rate than the state, and infant mortality is measured deaths before age 1 per 1,000.
Okay.
So in just the latest year that we have records for, 2023, our rate was actually below the state average. We were at 6.8 deaths per 1,000 live births compared to 6.9. So we are doing better overall. Unfortunately, we still have a disparity of a higher death rate of almost 3 times higher in our African American and Hispanic babies compared to white babies. So, that's something we're trying to focus on, and unfortunately we see that across the state and across the country, that disparity.
Is that based more on an income level of particular areas of the county?
Well, what we see is, I think the things that are driving that are, make sure we have access to care, because we're also seeing higher preterm births or higher or lower birth weight babies.
Right.
And if you have those 2 things, preterm birth or low birth weight, lead to increased incidence of infant mortality. So we're trying to make sure that every baby, every mother in this county, that when they're pregnant, they have access to good quality health care, and also those other things like good quality food, and just make sure they live in a safe community, and so the child and mom can be safe.
It can affect anybody. I remember my daddy talking about this. Of course, he's long since dead, but he had a big family, and in the 20s, they lost a little brother who was, I think, 11 months old or 10 months old or something. I guess they didn't talk about it that much back then. Yeah. It's good for us to talk about it now. And I want to ask you about a special event that you held recently that's maybe going to help people talk about it more, learn about it more. What was that?
So we had every September, because September is Infant Mortality Awareness Month, we have a walk a mile to save our babies. And we just had that a few weeks ago. And it happens, like I said, every September. We do it downtown Winston-Salem, and it's really very moving. We have a stroller for each baby that passed away before they made their first birthday, and we push those downtown, and we have families share their stories. And this year we had a family, the McDermott family. They had a very moving story where they had been trying to have children for some time. They finally had twins, but one of the twins died at 43 days old.
Oh my.
But the other twin is happy and healthy, but they shared their story. And then we have our website, helpourbabies.org, where you can find out information about our Infant Mortality Reduction Coalition, the work we're doing. You can see the McDermott story and just learn how you can help.
Give me an example of a tip that you could give somebody. Maybe you did this during the event or that you do through your office. Maybe one thing that comes to mind that you can tell expectant parents that they should be thinking about doing.
Well, I think the best thing to share is we have the ABCs of safe sleep. And we did a promotion. We worked with the communications department here at the county to push this message out, but it's ABC. Make sure your baby is alone in a crib when they're sleeping. So, trying to discourage co-sleeping where the baby sleeps with the parents. So alone, on their back, and in that crib.
Okay.
So those ABCs, alone, on their back, and in the crib. So those things right there, those 3 things right there can keep your baby safe and sound.
Yeah, I've seen these little supposedly cute videos about a big dog sleeping in a crib with a baby. Don't do that.
No.
I mean, we just use some common sense. But I tell you what, Joshua, I appreciate you having events like this. hearing those stories and helping with the awareness. Is there a particular website or whatever people should go to on a day-to-day basis to try to get more information?
Well, obviously, you can go to the health department's website through the HHS. You can go through the HHS Facebook, but helpourbabies.org is the website just for the Infant Mortality Reduction Coalition.
Helpourbaby.org. Joshua Swift, you do such a great job. Thanks for you and your team, what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, and